Khan Porter here at CrossFit Play, my gym in Sydney. 18.5 has just been announced. Obviously for the first time ever, it was a workout that they allowed us, the audience, to pick. Conspiracy theories aside, it was pretty cool to see the community get to have a say in what we're doing today. It's a pretty straightforward one. Look, it's thrusters, chest to bars, 7 minutes, not a huge time domain. I'm going to break it down by going through the thrusters, the chest to bar, and then the transitions separately. And from there, we should be able to come up with a strategy for everyone. Obviously, the first movement is the thruster. You guys, if you have watched the girls go first, Annie, Katrin, and Sarah, these guys are 3 of the top athletes in the world. They went out red hot. I would not recommend doing that as well. I certainly will not be doing that. My goal with the thrusters will be to try and hold onto the bar as long as I can. So my idea is that you want to kind of breathe at the top. Even if it's just a fraction of a second to pause at the top of that rep, stack the joints so the shoulder's not constantly loaded, and then get a little bit of a breath in there as well. From there, 3, 6, 9, I think those early sets are good to keep unbroken, but have a strategy from which set you're going to break it up from and try and stick to maybe 2 sets per round. We see some of the girls actually ended up having to break their later rounds into 3, 4 sets. We don't want to get so fatigued early on that those later rounds we're having to split because we're tired and we're putting the bar down multiple times. As I said, 3, 6, 9 is probably a safe bet for most people. Maybe 3, 6 and then starting to split on the 9s. But the idea is that we want to manage our fatigue in those first sets, particularly our muscular fatigue, because it is going to get harder and harder as the workout goes on. Which you guys will know, it makes sense. Chest to bar. Again, if the thrusters are about managing your fatigue and taking small sets from the start as well, this is even more important. Once your thruster goes, it's probably going to be a combination of your muscular fatigue and also cardiovascular fatigue. Whereas when your chest to bar goes, it's going to be because your arms have completely blown out. Once your arms blow out, it's going to be really, really hard to keep being able to rep those that movement out. Particularly, you don't want to end up having to go to singles. So my recommendation, and this is what I've said to a lot of the athletes that are doing the workout from my gym, will be to start with 3s from the start. So 3 the first round, 3 and 3 the second round, 3, 3, 3 for the third round. By doing that with short, deliberate breaks, you're going to manage that fatigue at the start of the workout. Then if you're feeling good at around that 4 to 5 minute mark, maybe then, or whatever you think is going to be your last set of chest to bars, because of the time, maybe hold on to the bar then. It's going to just be, people will want to go like 3, 6, 9 unbroken because we can do that. I highly recommend not to, and to make sure that, you're managing that from the go. I've written up here, rest because you want to, not because you have to. It's one of my favorite things to tell the guys going into a workout that's not going to be done unbroken, which is most workouts. There's very few workouts where you're going to go unbroken the whole way. So I always tell them from the start, only take a rest break because you're choosing to, never take a rest break because you hit fatigue. That ability to manage fatigue, particularly in a workout with increasing reps like this, super duper important. Transitions. If you guys watched the live throwdown, you'll see that the girls, they rushed their transitions really fast at the start. They were running from the bar, or fast walking from the bar back to the pull-up bar, etc., etc. Doing that, if you're a very top level athlete, sure, maybe rush those first few transitions, but you'll even see that towards the end of the workout, I think that came back and that bit all 3 of them in the butt. By slowing those transitions down, it's an opportunity for you to take an extra breath or 2 before you begin the next movement. And by doing that early on, I think they were finished the 3, 6, 9 in about a minute, just over a minute. That's flying through those transitions, and it's effectively 1 minute with very little kind of pacing at all. A 1 minute max effort followed by 6 minutes of work is going to make that following 6 minutes really, really difficult. Definitely don't rush your transitions at the start. Control your heart rate for the first half of the workout at least. I kind of like to say to the guys that you don't want to feel like you're out of breath, and you don't want to feel like you're kind of chasing, being out of breath from the start of the workout. That's for later on. You want to try to get to that stage at around that sort of 4 or 5 minute mark, then give that final push towards the end. 7 minute workout is not a sprint. Right, it's a 2K row. If you were going to row 2K, would you try and PR your 500 meters, the first 500 meters of that 2K? No. You'd sit at a comfortable pace, try and cruise along, and then maybe bring it home hard for that last kind of 200 meters. Take that same mindset into this workout, because that 7 minutes is a reasonable 2K time. So that's what you want to be kind of thinking about. If your 2K is slower than 7 minutes, then you need to pace this even more. Have fun, guys. 1 more week. It's only 7 minutes. You guys pick the best workout. and yeah, rip into a beer for me afterwards.